What's up, family Lamskis? Joe here. A new day, new year, 2026. Here we are. Or 2026. I'll probably call it both still. I think this whole century for the rest of my life, every year will be pronounced either way. It wasn't like last century, no one's saying, oh, it's the year 1996. Like, it was really easy to say 1996. Like, there's no debate, but it's different this century. Very important observation, very profound. You're welcome. So, today, today was a fun day. Nothing really to it. Didn't do a whole lot besides walk my ass off and upgraded a little bit. I had a bright idea to see how to make the gallon jugs heavier because I've been walking with the water, and it's tougher than just walking, but it's still like not as hard as I want it to be. So I, look up on Google and it says sand. Put some sand. And I'm like, oh, duh. I'm in the military, or I was in the military. Sandbags. I know all about it. It just didn't really register in my mind because I've been at the military for almost 16 years now, which is wild. Almost 4 times as long as I was in the Army is how long I've been out. That's wild, man. Time goes by too damn fast. I'm 40 years old. Whew, thank God, I guess. Carl Jung said life starts when you turn 40, so I'm trying to make that true for myself. So, I live next to university campus, and I walk by a volleyball court every day. So, I put on my stealth gear, my special forces gear, like David Goggins. I put the black, sun reflective shit under my eyes and paint my face green and shit, and put on the leafy. Anyway, I'm just kidding, obviously. So, I walked up to the volleyball court to steal some sand. I even looked around first. If people had been playing, I would have been like, not yet. So I had two Walmart bags, but it was really like 3 bags in one a piece. Like how you double bag like glass bottles. Like pickle jars or 40-ounce still reserves. You want to double bag it. And I brought an empty cottage cheese bucket and just scooped the sand in there real quick, Came back and I filled 1 gallon jug up all the way with sand and then poured it with water. And according to Gemini, Google's AI, that should weigh about 15, 16 pounds. I don't have any scales, so I'm just going off of that. And then the ones I walked with, on my second walk today, I filled it up halfway with sand and then the rest with water, which would make it like 13 pounds. So according to Google, with just water, each one was 8 pounds. So I upped it to 13 pounds, and I felt it hardcore on this walk. I had to stop several times because, I'll just show it real quick. Give me 1 second. Sure. All right, here I am coming right back. You see, I got this towel wrapped up around it in a spiffy little knot. So when I'm walking, I'm holding it like this. And so after a while, I had to set it down because my hands would be so cramped that it'd be like this. And it just takes like a moment before they'll start doing that. But see all that nice little dirt that I robbed, brutally, savagely fucking burglarized that volleyball court for this sand right here. It's a little over half. And it wasn't an exact measurement. Again, I don't have scales. So to compensate for that, every time I stop to let my hands rest, I switch hands. The one that was in my right hand, I now carry with my left hand. That way I don't need to worry about it. It's pretty consistent, right? And I was talking about the other day how this shit's gonna improve my grip strength. My hands are sore right now. I keep doing this. When it's time to be in love with myself, I might accidentally rip that motherfucker off. I'm just playing. That was gross. I'm sorry, okay? I'm just saying, fucking grip. And the back and the delts, bro, man, it's gonna be wild. I can't wait. So now I have myself a little dumbbell too with the other one that's full. I'm sitting here watching these YouTube videos about comedy critiques, about how Joe Rogan's comedians aren't funny like Tony Hinchcliffe. That dude is not even remotely funny whatsoever. He's really not. I can do my little curls. I can do my little, triceps too. It's just like, oh, and I just let it run down my back. Oh, yeah. Baby mama. There we go. So that's a good way to pass time. And just to make absolutely sure that I sleep like a baby. And last night I went to sleep at like 2:30 still, or 2. Actually, it might have been a little bit earlier than that, but I set my alarm for 7:45. That's the first time I set my alarm because I'm not trying to wake up any later than that. So when the alarm went off and I woke up and, got to cooking food, cooked those black eyed peas I was talking about. I left them out overnight to soak, cooked half of them, and they were fucking delicious, man. I was really proud of myself. I ain't gonna lie, dude. They're so good. So, a lot of food eating went down today. So yeah, that second walk, I had to stop several times. Like that's it's good time. I can't wait to go for this third walk after this recording. So, Pink Cloud Pitfalls. I had a great meeting today. Little nitpick. It's not like a complaint, just a nitpick. I can't help it. I gotta mention it, right? So at the beginning of the meeting, instead of reading how it works like you do every meeting, which, I usually just play with my phone because, it's just every single meeting. I'm not listening to that every single meeting. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do that. I try to show up late to miss the readings, or at least partially miss them, but this group I go to, they don't ever start till like 7:03, 7:04. Today we started at 7:05 because the chair was like, oh, wow, my bad. I didn't realize that 7 had come and gone. I was like, well, okay, it's perfect. It's fine. It's whatever. But instead of reading how it works, he got someone to read the beginning, like, page and a half of chapter 3 for some reason. Which, I don't care necessarily. If it was like a thing that was starting to happen, it would, like, kind of start getting on my nerves. Because I've never seen anyone do that before. Like, oh, we're just not going to read how it works. I'm just going to read this other bullshit that I think's interesting. It's like, I'm pretty sure every single meeting I've ever gone to, hundreds of meetings, or at least a couple hundred meetings for sure, maybe, somewhere between 200 to 400 meetings for sure, without even trying to do the math, I've been to. No one's ever read anything other than how it works at the beginning. So it's like not a big deal. It's just one of those things that I can't like not notice. But it was fun. And so the topic was, advice to newcomers. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, I like this topic. Even though I don't think there are really any newcomers in there. Of course, there's people with short-term sobriety, but that don't make you a newcomer because most people relapse. And so I'll just tell y'all what I told them. So it was 2014, I'd been doing math pretty bad back then, but not even close to what I did fucking 2025. It sure wasn't shit. For sure, that was a hell of an adventure, let me tell you. But I was finally I got fired from my job, so I was running out of money to even keep doing the math, and I was smoking spice back then, and that's a hell of a high right there. And I was ready to get some fucking help, man. And I was telling my brother Eric about it, and at the time he was in Austin. He had just gotten out of rehab, and he was in a sober house in Austin. He was like, hey, come down here, we'll get you in rehab. So I went to North Austin, 24-hour club, nonprofit. They take people in off the streets and set them up for rehab. I've been looking at the wrong side of the damn camera this whole time. Hey guys, what's going on? So fucking went to North Austin 24-hour club, and you have to attend all the meetings every day there, which is 4 meetings a day. So even just being there for a month, that was already 120 meetings. So I've probably been, at least 400, 500 meetings total. And as soon as I walked in the meeting room, right on the wall was the Serenity Prayer, and I read it. I'd never seen it before, and I was like, wow, that's pretty, totally, like, hell yeah. And then I looked on the board in the front of the room and read the first step, and I was like, oh my God, that is so me. Like, what? Like, how come no one told me about this? This is so me. And so I was so enthused by it that I got myself into a pink cloud. I was like, boom, I got this shit figured out, man. And no one really tried to check me. The only skepticism I saw about the pink cloud during that time was doing my own research on the internet and coming across people being skeptical about it, because no one really wants to like discourage anybody. But the way I explained at the meeting is that pink cloud, so you're just brand new sober person. You've been sober for like a week. So I call it an unrealistic level of enthusiasm. Like it's not realistic at all. It's like I said it's like believing in a get rich quick scheme. Like you're just gonna get rich overnight without putting in any time or effort into it. Like the pink cloud, it's almost like just knowing the information. And I'm speaking for myself because this is what happened to me. Like it was as if for me just learning the information was the cure. But like as most of us know, that's not even close to the case. And like I have met people, when I asked them about, pink cloud skepticism and stuff, like no one really wanted to like, keep it real with me, because they didn't want to discourage me. And I don't blame them. I mean, for sure. So, but that was another reason why I was so excited to share about that today, because, no one really wanted to discourage me like that. So I just wanted to put that out there for the people in the meeting. And, I had a guy tell me he was 12 years sober. He'd been on this pink cloud for the whole time, which that's bullshit. If you're sober for 12 years, there's no way you're on a pink cloud, because that's not what it is. It's like a misunderstanding of the definition of the term. Like if you've been sober for 12 years, like you're pink cloud, you're just a guy. You're just you're level. You got your feet on the ground. You might have your head in the clouds, but you got your feet on the ground. Pink cloud is head in the clouds and your feet not on the ground, or at least for me. And like, I'm not saying I'm smart or better than anybody. I've been in and out of these rooms for the last 12 years, mostly out of the rooms for sure. Because usually once I'm gone, like I got nothing but content. Just as recently as 3 months ago, I was telling my brother Eric, who's, I guess he was like 7 months sober at that time. I was like, you know what? I am not like those people. Because I know in AA, that's the big cliche, is that everybody says, I'm not like these people, but like you really are. And I was just like, I know that's what they always say, but fuck that. I'm not like these people. Like, I'm not trying to hear that shit at that time. And so I'm not sure where I was going with that, but pink cloud, no one wants to fucking keep it real, necessarily. Some people do, and that was part of the punchline of my story, was that when I was going to a rehab, I went to the VA hospital in Waco, Texas, and I was talking to these two older guys. They were like in their late 50s at least, and I was in my late 20s at the time. And I guess I was just spitting my little game, all pink clouded out and shit, not really having like self-awareness yet, because, I had virtually no experience at that time. I probably had like a month of sobriety, like ever, like for the first time ever, like in a recovery, environment. And like finally the dude like sitting 2 people over from me just looks at me, he's like, man, when you fucking crash out, bro. And I'm paraphrasing here, I don't remember exactly what he said, but basically he said, look, man, when you fucking go out, you're gonna crash out so fucking hard, man. Like, he was basically calling me on my bullshit. He was doing me a favor. Of course, at the time, I wasn't trying to hear that. I didn't want to believe him, but it stuck with me. Obviously, I still remember it to this day, but even at the time, even though I wasn't trying to hear it, like, I couldn't, like, completely just blow it off, And sure enough, 6 months later, I was in Austin with a friend of mine from the rooms who was with me. I had the money, he had the connection, and next thing you know, we're literally like right outside of downtown Austin, like right in the hood, right outside of downtown, like like the fucking all the not skyscrapers, but all the high-rise buildings are like quarter mile away, and he's shooting me up with heroin, broad daylight, noon. You know what I'm saying? We're walking around. I'm fucking nodding off, and getting him to like ask people to buy weed and shit. So that's where the pink cloud brought me. It brought me to where it brings everybody else. So my message was, pink cloud, if it's too good to be true, it's probably not true. So just have some, self-awareness and, be realistic. And it was fun to share that, and it's fun to share that with y'all. I got a new subscriber again. So thanks everybody for all the love and shit and comments, and Happy New Year, and y'all have a great day.